Hello, welcome everybody. Today I would like to show you a couple of the features in cost center accounting planning. So if you navigate to SAP Easy Access menu in the accounting controlling here in the planning section, so there are many transaction codes for performing the planning functions such as posting the cost and activity input values and also activity output values for the purpose of production and other planning activities. So here there is one function which is pretty much used for expediting the planning function is the planning aids. So let's look at a couple of transactions and see how these functions are used. So let's look at one of the reports first before we try to execute these transactions. Like there is a transaction code KP97 which is used for copying plan to plan values, and when you look at KP98 you can copy actuals to plan values. So let me execute one of the cost center report and then look at different planning functions, that planning aid that I was talking of. So let me execute one of the standard SAP cost center accounting reporting transaction, which is here. Let me go here, information systems and plan and actual comparison. So this is the typical transaction that you all the time execute. So and let me execute for 2015 and see the values 2015 and then period 1 to 12, and I would like to give a specific cost center only, so that we would like to see the demo in this cost center for the purpose of using the planning aid functionality. So let's look at here. If you see here, so in this cost center 1000 you have actual cost which are like 5000, 8000, 100, 5000, like that. So depending upon the cost element, so this cost center actuals are posted. So first a step what I would like to do is that I would like to copy entire actuals into plan values. At this point of time only one plan value is there, which is $5,000 for one of the cost element. Okay, so let me execute copy function from actuals to plan. So then you will see how the plan values are there, and then I would copy plan values into future years like 2016. So let's look at 2016 time frame, whether any values are there in the plan section. So just concentrate only the plan value section for 1000. So there is nothing is there, neither in the actuals nor in the planning. So as a step, let's go back to the planning aid function. So here first let me select KP98, which is copying the actuals into the plan values. So here this transaction gives you many features. So straightforward features, for example, you can use a specific cost center, or you can use a group of cost centers like cost center group, or you can have a pretty much a selection variant, which means if you have cost centers which are not in a group but in a different sequence, so you can create a variant and then include those cost centers that you want to use for copying the plan values or the actuals to the plan values. So in the if you want to do all the cost centers, for example, this may be a good functionality. You just select all cost centers and pretty much copy the values which are there from all the cost centers from the actuals. So you see here the actuals, this portion actuals and to the target. So obviously actuals are always are posted. There is nothing called version for actuals. So actuals are posted without any specific version. So that is the reason you can compare actual values to any of the target version values. So in this example, let me take 1000 here and then put with a period like 1 to 12. So I just would like to do for entire period, and the fiscal year 2015. So this is the actual values. Where do I want to copy? I would like to copy into the plan version, which is 0, and then the period 1 to 12, 1 to 12, and then again I am giving the 2015 itself. Okay, so this is the way you can enter the parameters, and then you can also tell that like what exactly you want to do. Like, do you want to do a selected actuals data or all actuals data? For example, actuals can be the cost center cost element values or statistical values, like that. So you can select specific functions if you want primary cost, revenues, statistical values, and so on. So let me just say everything which is there as a planned value, actual value. So I would like to say all actual values, and if already there is a value which is there in the plan, so there is a functionality called don't change. So that's what or if you just want to wipe it off and reset, you can as well do that. And then here so like again I am just taking out the test. You have the facility to run in the test, and the detail list also it can give you. So let me take out the test and execute this particular function. So I have taken the test out, and so it's saying because just because that you have given that, like you are overriding your existing plant values overwriting, so that it is telling you that do you really want to copy. Yes, I would like to say that. Okay, so it's now actuals from 2015 are being copied into 2015 planned values itself, right? So after completion of this particular transaction, and I would go and execute uh, the report which is there. So there are copied records are 8, and there are some error messages are there. Let's look at the what is the error message here, and maybe there are you see the cost element, a specific cost element is there, which maybe it's some functionality is not allowed. So let's not concentrate on that, like what errors are there, but whatever the update run which is copied 8 records which are there, so might have been copied to the actual value. So let me go back to the reports that we started earlier, and then that report will help us to see that how the values are there. So 2015 I am selecting here, and 1 to 12 the periods, and then again the cost center that we are looking at for the demo is 1000. So let me execute here. So all the values which are there in the actuals have become planned values as well here. So and we have seen some problem with a particular account, so that is the reason. So this looks like the value which was there that is not copied here, and then that is the reason it's showing 1000, but that's fine. Our concentration is the copy. So one of the cost elements may be missing or change values were there, so that is the reason this particular value is not copied. So but otherwise let's all the values are copied here. Okay, so let's look at like functionality of copying these plan values into 2016 actuals. Not actuals, obviously plans you cannot copy actuals. So now the same I'm going back here, and then so there are certain other functionalities with revaluation and other functions I will explain maybe in some other lesson. So today like we concentrate that actuals to plan and plan to plan. So now let's look at the plan to plan. Again here all the parameters which were there earlier also available. Only difference between the earlier screen and this one is that if you see carefully here, there was no version because that was the actual. Since now we are copying plan to plan values, so here the version is coming. So I am taking the version 0 and 1 to 12, and then 2016 15 obviously, and then I am giving here 2016 for the plan values, and again the version I am giving 0 itself. And then again I can say that please execute, and detailed list is fine. So once I execute this particular transaction, so now the data from the planned values should go to planned values of the 2016 fiscal year. So now let me execute now the 2016 fiscal year. if everything goes well as I explained. And now you would see the values in planned section of your 2016 for this cost center 1000. You see that there are no actuals, obviously nothing is posted for this cost center in this year 2016, but the planned values are there. Okay, so this is the way the planning aid, so if is coming into usage. So if you really see how the entire the functionality worked. So let me go back to settings here again. Here I'm just going back to here. You see that this is the transaction code that we used. Okay, so these are the great aids for performing your planning and expediting. So most frequently what people at the business people do is that they normally copy actuals to the plan, and then they work on like correction of the plans for the that specific fiscal year before they complete the planning function. Okay, so hopefully it's clear for you to how to copy plan to plan and actuals to plan. And in future sessions I would explain you about other planning aids within the cost center accounting. Thanks for watching this video, and please visit back for future videos. Thank you.